Shore time means finishing on Friday is as good as finishing on Tuesday.
What short time means to me is when the task is done, I'm done, and I'm done.
Short time means I can build you a house out of 550 cord and duct tape. You wouldn't want to live there, but I can build it. What is shore time really? For us, it means working hard, from Friday night to Sunday night. Even as Saturday turns to Saturday night, we keep building or rebuilding or doing whatever else we need to further our projects so that we can get ahead.
So for organizational purposes here at Shore Time, as well as keeping you guys apprised of where we're at, we sort of developed a project board to do just that. Our goal is to get the outboard, the first stage of Stevie, and the mini bike all done this weekend. And as you can see from the board over there, we sort of have a timeline and goals of how we want to do what project. I think it's going to help with keeping us on track and help keeping you informed of where we're at.
Enter Jezebel the mini bike. She comes stock from the factory at about 6.5 horsepower with a max speed of 18 miles an hour. Yeah, about as much fun as broccoli ice cream. So what we're doing is increasing power and thus speed. On a mini bike, there's really only one way to do that. Increase the flow of gas and increase the flow of air into the engine.
So what exactly went on with that carburetor that we had to make a modification?
It's from another project, but will work. So the through holes for the studs or bolts to hold it on were just too small. Bolts are right size for the block. It's all good. These were just a bit too small. So we did have some valves and stuff that were pretty close to where we were drilling, but we were able to drill through, not mess anything up, and now our bolts fit. So now we're just gonna mount her up.
But hey folks, it's not all fun. This is a side hustle. We're trying to make a profit. That means using parts from other projects that didn't work out at the time, which in turn means fabricating brackets and otherwise making things fit that weren't meant to. Mechanics call that going janky. To y'all, that probably means slapping some together. So to keep you up to date, what happened yesterday was we had started making throttle brackets and different things, manufacturing things, fabricating things rather, and it started to look a little janky and things didn't start to fit. So for the mini bike, we decided to order $150 hop-up kit. The idea of working 8 hours to make brackets rather than spending $8 for a bracket just wasn't working for us. For that $150 hop-up kit, we get instructions, we know it's gonna work, and we get a warranty. Sometimes you just can't go janky. I'm not too disappointed. You do your best to save money, but in the end, you have to sell a quality product. Otherwise, you're just not gonna stay in business for very long. So we've taken Jezebel, the mini bike, as far as we can, and we're moving on to Stevie. We had already done the suspension, the entire cooling system, the carburetor, and some miscellaneous fixes here and there. The two major systems we have left to take care of are the entire brake system and installing a winch for an upgrade. But even new OEM spec parts sometimes require you to improvise. I don't know if there are factory torque specs for this. Let's get it down to 10.
5 pounds is plenty because think about it. You got 10 pounds on each side. That's 2 points on each side of the plate. And you're never going to be pulling that winch straight up.
Right. You might have guessed that torque specifications are a bit of a thing here at Shore Time. And that gives us a pretty good ability to guess what's needed when torque specifications aren't provided.
And
10, 10, 10, 10, 10, good.
Dude, instead of using this red and black for the winch and this red and black for the battery, it's this black and this red for the winch and this red and this black for the battery. This is a stupid design I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's smoking pretty good.
She got hot, didn't she?
Oh yeah, you can smell it.
She was trying to pull ground through the motor, that's why. It ain't gonna hurt her.
It sure makes this shorebilly wonder what's janky and what's not. If we're making fixes to factory OEM parts, maybe the only thing that's janky is that broccoli I hadn't mentioned in a while.
Those two don't need quarter stick lock.
After some modifications to those parts, the winch is done onto the braking system. And Curtis teaches this old dog a pretty cool new trick.
How do you guys bleed brakes? So the way my family does it is we take a soda bottle, we cut the top off. You put a little bit of brake fluid in the bottom of it. You take a hose, you put it on the bleeder valve, you put it in the brake fluid in the bottom of the bottle, right? As he presses on the brakes and I open the bleeder valve, if bubbles come out through that fluid, there was air in the line. Right, that's how we do it. And if that's the case, I need a bottle that we can cut up. I need some hose that'll fit that. How else do you know it? How else do you know if the air comes out?
What was it when we ran the bike where you said that there was no front brakes, but back brakes were working? Apparently.
Cut off. Squeeze and hold. Off, squeeze twice, squeeze and hold, let off. Somebody check the light on that.
So this weekend we got about 60% of what we wanted done. We got almost all the way through with the mini bike, but then we decided to get new parts instead of trying to jank everything up. I'm calling that I consider that we met our goal. On Stevie, we ran into a few difficulties. We're about 85% of where I wanted to be, so that's good. And we didn't start the outboard. So all in all, about 60% for the weekend. Not bad.
So 65% of our goal, 100% of this episode. Like, subscribe, and get notified, please.